Friends, I welcome you to the fourth section. Here we talk about the panel settings with the trader's requirements. What exactly we will consider in this section? We will consider saving sets. A separate lesson will be devoted to this panel appearance, internal variables of the panel. Let's get down to the first lesson in this section, which is saving sets. Let's move on to mt4. And so friends, here we have our terminal in front of us. By the way, now this is how I write this day off on Saturday. The Forex market is closed, but works, cryptocurrencies market. And I will show you such an important nuance when working, for example, with cryptocurrencies, and in principle, when working with other tools you may encounter. Look, now we have launched the panel on the chart, and we see that these buttons are not activated for us. Well, in principle, an inscription pops up here. The one who deletes the cursor, it will understand why is it happening, but I will additionally explain the panel writes that there is not enough free funds. After all, opening sell orders free funds. The maximum lot is 0.21%. Why is this happening? Here it is happening because the stop loss is too small for this instrument. It is, if we open an indicator showing the size of the spread for this instrument, the size of the spread here will be about 21,000 points, and accordingly we need to increase the size of our stop loss so that we have the opportunity to open positions. So we increase it above the standard spread for this instrument. You see, if you measure the size of the spread using the crosshair, you can see that the crosshair is about 22,000 points. Accordingly, we set this value and we can already open a deal as a percentage. Also, if you use, for example, some of the options for these instruments, be it trailing or averaging, then accordingly you need to adjust the settings of the step distance related to the spread and volatility of the instrument. So in this tutorial we'll talk about saving sets. Let me tell you exactly how they are saved here. For instance, we have a Bitcoin tool, and we want to set a profit per trade for it, for example 10% and a risk of 2%. Why we want to indicate the stop loss in points, for example 50,000 points. For example, we have opened this instrument and also we are trading UR or other instruments, and we want to save specific settings. That is, we need, for example, a break-even, and these are the parameters. That is, we don't want to save anything else. What we do, we enter here, for example, the BTC value and click the save button. All our set file is saved, and now when we, for example, open this tool, let's reopen Bitcoin dollar. Move the panel to the chart and see that we already have this set with Bitcoin, but other set files can also be saved. For example, we opened the euro dollar, although now it's not traded, but now we can set up the sets for it. For example, for euros USD, we open to enter with a stop loss of 300 points, a profit of 4% and a risk, for example, 1.5%. At the same time, we want to use a trailing stop and not use a break-even. So we have designated the parameters for ourselves and now we want to save them. Just assign the set as 0 and press the save button. And that's it. Now, depending on the instrument, for example, again, we opened, for example, Bitcoin dollar.
Bitcoin-доллар.
Move the panel here.
Сюда панель.
And we can see that we already have saved sets for this instrument. Accordingly, if we open the euro dollar, then we see that the dollar has already opened under the euro with our setting sets. That is how convenient it is. You can understand that by opening here you will get desired set. By opening on this set as set, we will get desired set. And you can see that we have saved the trailing stop here, but here we have saved the break-even. That is, all these settings are saved. And you can work with each instrument.
Так, я не знаю, звук был хороший или нет, ближе микрофон поставил. Все эти настройки сохраняются, и вы максимально удобно работаете с каждым инструментом. Вам не надо
you don't need to insert new values every time, but if, for example, you want to use 3 different trading models or more within one instrument, then even in this case, you can also save settings you want. For example, under these settings, we have set file called BTC, and we also want, for example, to set this file with risk settings. For example, 3% and take profit 15%. Stop loss, for example, set 60,000 points. And we can designate these settings as Bitcoin 3. That is 3% of the risk was used. We also save it, and look, now we have a euro set, a Bitcoin set, and a Bitcoin 3 set. Also, if you have, for example, a saved set that we don't need, then we can simply delete it, and he will no longer appear with us. This is how we can save any settings, and they are applied to the selected tool. Plus, you can switch within the tool, and save all settings on the panel. It seems that you may not even have seen functionality. Indeed, it's very convenient to automate your written actions. In trading, and the most important thing, in my opinion, in manual trading, it can be really profitable and somewhere even better than automatic trading. Taking into account that you automate it, that's automate your written actions on miscalculation of risk in its sequence, that is, you will, let's say, when opening deals, copy your previous actions as much as possible. That is, consistency in trading is a very important point, which, let's say, will decide whether you trade profitably or not. So practice settings up the sets. I think that is a feature you will really like. See you in the next lesson.